Bryce, but Bryce Papenbrook was crushed by a grand piano on his way. He's joining us until he gets out of the grand piano.
How are you both doing? How's your first day of the convention?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. A few housekeeping things. There will be time for you to ask your questions. When that happens, we just ask that you ask one question so we can get through as many people as possible, and I will let you know when we get ready for that. But let me jump right in. Obviously, Demon Slayer is a show that I think many of us hold dear, filled with a lot of epic and brutal moments. Can you talk to us about maybe a few that were the most challenging to get right as an actor? Like, were there a couple that stand out to you that you really needed to work on to make sure you were conveying what you needed to?
Yeah, definitely. For me, the one that stands out is, spoiler alert, if you're not caught up with the show.
But who here is caught up with the show?
There's a little moment where Nezuko conquers the sun, and then her first words are, "Good morning." But so those flaps in the Japanese, like, it was very tricky to try to make it look not weird in English. So I think what we ended up with is, good morning. And like, we spent so much time finagling that because it's such a powerful moment, and I wanted to do my best to make it look as good as it could. So that one was particularly challenging just because of the mouth flaps that we got to match when we're dubbing.
My favorite moment was when Bryce Papenbrook escaped from the grand piano.
I'm taking this one! Hi guys, how's it going? Like Inosuke, I show up late. It's great. What are you guys up to?
My favorite character, my third.
It's a good choice. The true leader right here!
I don't know about that one, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
We are currently describing our favorite gory moments from the show.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're talking about. The bloodiest,
Most bloody,
the
most
violentest,
moment.
most grossest.
Nice. That's a great way to start the panel off. Wow. I mean, there's some great moments of Inosuke just slicing things up. Yeah, those are fun. I have a moment that hasn't happened. It might not ever happen.
So this is like... You're not saying this is from a manga, you're saying this is something you're imagining.
This is something, yes, I'm trying to make happen with all of my heart. I haven't read the manga. Have you guys read the manga? Yeah! Sweet, don't tell me anything that happens. I don't want to know. I hope this is terrible. I hope he gets to eat the crow. Delicious, delicious crow. You're like, how could he say that?
How would you prepare it?
I don't know. I'm not a chef, but I think Inosuke would just eat it raw. I don't think it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Did you guys already answer?
Yep, we definitely do. Alright, you're never know.
I miss the gory moments. I'm just imagining him eating the crow. Maybe it wouldn't be gory. He'd just be like, "Hum," and then the crow would be gone. Yes.
So it would be like,
I wanted to take 2 bites, so the first bite, the crow just has like a mouth mark on it, and then that's it. No blood in it.
How would that
this is
sound?
dark. This is good. How would that sound?
The first one is scared, the second one he's accepted his fate.
Yes.
I love it.
Love it.
Next question.
Bryce, let me ask you two, talking about maybe moments that were most challenging to get right.
He really said. I really want you to answer my question.
Yeah. Okay. This is most challenging moments.
Most challenging moments.
So a lot of people come up and ask me, like, does that hurt to scream like Inosuke? And the answer is no, not at all. I can scream like Inosuke forever.
Trust me, I know.
And I do, yes. So it's not the screaming that's challenging. I think once I discovered my trick, it wasn't very difficult to record as him. Also, unlike Aleks, I don't have to hit lip sync very often.
That's right.
Because Inosuke is, because he has the boar head on, his nose is just moving up and down, and I just have to hit snout movement. So that's helpful. So yeah, my trick to do his voice, and sorry if you've heard me say this before, I know you guys have.
It's new every time.
It's dark, disgusting coffee is what does it. And I didn't know this when I started the show. So if you listen to the trailer, Inosuke sounds different in that original trailer than the voice we ended up going with. I was in the studio and I hit the wrong button on the coffee machine, and instead of like a nice 6-ounce pour, I got like 1 ounce of sludge. And I took a sip and I was like, and that's Inosuke! So yeah, every time I record, I always have this dark, disgusting coffee. So I'm angry and caffeinated. That's it.
If, before I ask, I want to start lining up, we have a microphone to my right. If you want to start lining up to ask questions here, just a sec, feel free. Don't all get it.
All right. No questions. Good panel, guys.
Okay, bye!
While we're waiting for people to line up, what would a Demon Slayer trip to Vegas look like? Your character's just, trip here.
Oh boy. I don't know if we should answer that question.
Nezuko would just be at the slots like,
That's what I think too. I think they would be so enamored by the slot machines that they would just be like,
you know, they would hit the buffet probably.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also. Just I want to eat more like him in real life. I'm not very good at just shoving food in my mouth.
you gotta practice.
I know. Aleks and I at times have gone to dinner together. And we used to do this thing where we do like a splitsies dinner.
So he would order something. We both have like, you know, when they have a menu and it's like, wow, there's so many good items up here. What should we do? So he would get something that I thought was good, or he thought was good, and I would get something that I thought was good, or he thought was good.
Yep.
And then we would just cut it right down the middle and just, you know, give each other a half of each thing.
Spaghetti, cutting it right down.
Yeah, spaghetti is great.
The splitsies dinner.
So I was thinking if I practiced eating like Inosuke, we would do splitsies dinner, but I would eat both dinners. That would be great.
I would just sit there with my fork and knife, just go. That's great.
All right, I think we're ready for some questions.
Hello.
Feel free to move that microphone up.
Get that mic.
Oh, sorry. Hello. Hi. My name is Josh. Hello.
Hi.
I wanted to ask, I know you drink the black sludge to kind of get the Inosuke voice, but how do each of you kind of get into your character's role before like going into the booth?
I just make sure I do a vocal warm up because with Nezuko, you don't really know if it's gonna be like a or a and that one's rough on the whole vocal
I
cords.
was gonna ask that it probably hurts like after like 2 or 3 hours of doing it.
Yeah, so most of the fighting definitely is challenging with Nezuko because you're like doing, oh my gosh, look who just walked in.
Oh my god.
A herd of enemies. I love it.
Yes. My minions! You guys been training! Nice!
Amazing. Here they come.
Is it weird that I think it's normal that like 20 shirtless guys no big deal.
Imagine like some kids' parents bring them to the panel.
Oh, it's so fun.
To answer your question, for me, because he talks a lot, really, really fast, I basically just turn on either a radio show or anything, and then I try to mimic whatever they're saying just to get my like vocals warmed up. Because sometimes Zenitsu is like talking at like 20 miles an hour, and it's impossible to catch the flaps and also make that sound distinguishable at the same time. So.
You know, that's a technique called shadowing that a lot of people use to learn foreign languages. Yeah.
So it's a vocal warm-up in the car.
Yeah, basically.
I too have a vocal warm-up in the car that I saved for Inosuke. It requires traffic, which is helpful because from LA where there's traffic every time I get in the car. So you pull up next to somebody, okay? You make eye contact with that other driver, eye contact, and then just laugh like you know. And just watch them squirm.
I went to a company dinner one time, and it was like, we were going to barbecue or something like that. It was like 9 p.m. or something, and there were barely anybody outside. And then on the road, I looked to my right, and there Bryce was in his car. And he just had his mouth hanging wide open, waving at me like this. I'm like, I can't hear you, but I can assume.
I like communicating with other drivers. It makes people so uncomfortable.
Today in Los Angeles, another traffic accident caused by a wild man in his car.
Cuts to me. Hi there.
Hello, my name is Kayla, and my question for you guys is, if your characters were to have Pokemon, which Pokemon would they have?
Pikachu, obviously.
Oh.
That's an easy one.
What's the one with the boxing gloves?
Machan.
Machan.
Sorry.
No,
Hitmonchan.
Hitmonchan, or hold on.
Mankey. Mankey. That's a good one.
Good. No.
Annihilate.
Which one?
Cubo? I can see that. I can see Cubo.
I think we're sticking with the original one.
I don't know. That would be Mondrian. That guy's got a hard head.
That's true.
What do you think?
Nezuko probably like a cute pink one, like, or Jigglypuff, or what's the Mudstone? Has like her hair. It's like her same hair. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Is it the donkey one? Is it Mudstone for?
What generation?
Mudsdale?
Mudsdale? It's Mudsdale. I think it's Mudsdale. Yeah, just because they have matching boots.
Look it up. That's a really good choice.
Thank you.
It does have the same hair.
It's good hair.
Hello. My name is Kenny. It was originally going to be for Aleks, but I'll probably ask all of you. If you guys could have a chance to voice like another character in the show, who would you guys actually do?
Ooh, not Inosuke. It's too hard.
You're done screaming? What?
I'm done screaming. Well, I did audition for Inosuke a long time ago. But I was just like, I already know this is going to be Bryce Papenbrook. No question about it. If I could do another character in the show, I would probably go for Tengen. Because he seems really, really fun, and I loved his entire character arc. Yeah, 3 Lives? Not because of that. What are you talking about? No! Yes?
I would choose the Crow. The delicious Crow.
That was a pro sampler? That's pretty good.
Got him!
I would be Inosuke. Gabachiro Kamaboko! That's all I got. And I can't do that all day. I don't know how you do it, man. It's crazy.
Scream at people in traffic and drink dark, disgusting coffee. You got
I
it.
mean, I got practice.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Say. My question is, do you guys have a favorite meme about either yourself or your character? Like Bryce Papenbrook's and everything, you hear a voice you recognize and you're like, it's Bryce Papenbrook.
I'll take it. That means I'm working, so I'm happy with that one.
Yeah, I never understood when like people would get upset. It's like, oh, Bryce is in the thing again. And I'm like, hey, he's paying his bill, man.
Yeah, I do enjoy paying my rent. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite meme.
I like the Love Nezuko meme. That's not a meme that's official. That's official.
I think my kids like Inosuke as Peppa Pig.
Can you give us an Inosuke with a British accent?
Nope.
Crunchyroll.
It's so bad. I can't see Inosuke with a British accent.
Was it because you can't do a British accent?
Yeah, that's exactly why. the level of accent work that I do, like the highlight of my career is Caesar and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's a Family Guy inspired Italian accent. Like I was literally watching Family Guy, and Peter does this like oop-a-da-ba-ba-da-beep-ba, and I did that in the audition. They're like, this guy. It's great.
I saw this a long time ago when it was like 4 panels, and Zenitsu was like at the beach in swim trunks, and he was like, "Hey girl, what's going on?" And then the next panel, he's like in the water. He's like, "Girl, help me, I'm drowning." Please. I like that one a lot. I think about that one from time to time.
That's great.
Thank you.
Another Inosuke.
What is my head on your head? That's me!
That felt like a South Park bit to me.
Hi, my name is Meredith. I was curious if you guys are playing D&D, who would you play as?
If we play D&D,
Oh yeah, like your character.
oh, like what classes in D&D?
class.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. I was just on Critical Role.
Never heard of it.
And for me, going into a show that's been like, where so many D&D players have loved and played for so long, I was really intimidated by the magic aspect, so I was like, what's the guy that doesn't use magic and doesn't have any spells? And they're like, you could be like a rogue. And I'm like, okay, let's do that guy. But if I were to do it again as Zenitsu, I think it would be funny if he was a bard. Because I know he's got sick music skills. Not me, he does. I'll just pretend I'm playing the shamisen really good or something like that.
I don't play much D&D, but is there a class called Berserker or Dual Wielder?
There's something along the lines of Berserker, right?
Yeah, they're good at playing that thing.
I'll take that one for 10. That sounds
That's
good.
nice.
Barbarian.
Barbarian!
Ooh, Barbarian's even better. Yeah, all those, all 3 of them. All the classes in one.
I think Tanjiro would be Dungeon Master.
Barbarian.
For
yeah,
sure,
full
for sure.
trained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And how come Inosuke doesn't know what Tanjiro's name is?
Who are you talking about? Manjiro? Is that right? Tanjiro? Kenjiro? Gunpachiro Kamamoto! The guy with the hard head, just kidding.
You know the craziest thing is that I'm pretty sure he does say it right like once in the show.
I think he might.
He
Yeah.
did.
On accident.
On accident. I think it was during the.
Doesn't he say it?
I think he does.
It was either that or during the spider arc when there were spiders in the mountain. I'm pretty sure he said it, but like we were just so used to him getting it wrong, we totally didn't notice it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I really don't know much about Inosuke. I haven't read the manga, I haven't been spoiled, and they don't really tell us anything. So I'm hoping we get some backstory at some point. Like, that would be great. Maybe we'll find out. And I'll keep getting it wrong.
Hello, my name is Aziza, and my question is, how would your characters react if they were magically dropped into Vegas without explanation?
I think similar to the entertainment district. More like that. That's the right answer.
With no context, I mean, that would probably be it, right?
I don't know.
Nezuko would just be like,
I think Inosuke would go.
I like how all of our answers are just noises.
Hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm pretty new to anime. And I have to say for Bryce, I've been like following like all your characters that you've done.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to Scream. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I was just wondering if you have like a favorite that you do or anything.
I
Who's
think,
your favorite character of all time? Say it.
so I'm really bad at picking favorites. I feel like, I don't know, you work so hard to get cast as these characters. Like at conventions, it's really clear the successes that we've had as actors. Like, you know, they're literally on big banners behind us. But what you don't see is the graveyard of failures. And I mean, I'm sure for all of us, there's a literal graveyard. So many shows I've auditioned for that I was not cast in. So your characters become really special to you, like your kids that live in your head. And a lot of my kids are crazy, and I don't want to make them mad, so I'm just going to stay out of that conversation. You guys got favorites?
It's hard to choose because I like different characters for different reasons.
I was gonna say I like different characters on different days.
Whatever mood you're in.
Yeah, whatever mood I'm in.
Well, if I may rephrase then, is there like any particular character that's especially challenging or anything like that that you put any like certain heart and soul into?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one too, because it depends on the day. Because some days you go into the studio and you scream. Like, if I go in as Eren, or Kirito, or Inosuke, or Meliodas, or...
That's not like, I'm assuming Eren's not like Inosuke screaming where you can just do it every single time. I'm sure those screams are a lot taxing.
Yes, they come from a different place. And it's just a different challenge. So like, there's vocal challenges, there's emotional challenges, which are tough sometimes, and then there's technical challenges like what Aleks has in Demon Slayer, where you're trying to hit sync and it's not easy.
I will say the hardest project that I've worked on anime-wise is probably Solo Leveling. Yeah. There's a huge fan base for it, and there's a lot of expectations that need to be met. And there's my expectations that need to be met for myself and also on the creative side. And it's probably the only show where I've gotten to pitch so much writing stuff as I've gotten to do, and we have a billion ideas. So we're spending probably 10 to 12 extra hours per episode. So I'm working on it even when I'm at home eating dinner. So it's really tough for me because just from a creative aspect, it's very draining, very, very draining. So,
Well, thank you very much for your time.
of course.
My name is also Crystal. My question is, since becoming voice actor, what has been one of your most funniest moments you've experienced?
One of the funniest that I've experienced is I was invited to Qatar to go to an event over there. I think it's called Geekdom. It is part of the Agile Film Festival. It's really, really cool. But I'm a voice actor, so not a lot of people recognize me. So I brought my partner with me, and he's a YouTuber. He's been on a lot of like shows like Geek and Sundry back in the day, all this stuff. And everyone at the festival recognized him. They were like, "What are you doing here?" It was really funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Funniest moments, oh my gosh.
And are you saying like going to conventions also as like, or just trying as voice actors in the studio, like
Overall.
everything?
I think for me, well, I've been doing this for 6 years now. I think I attended my first convention 5 years ago. And the very first day I went to one, and this was when Demon Slayer was out already. I went to one, and I didn't realize that when you're at a convention, you're supposed to bring banners with you, so people know where you are and who you are. So just imagine you're going to a con, and there's just a guy with a hat sitting there. nothing behind him, he's just sitting here like this. So I was just like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh, maybe I should do a banner. So that night I made a banner in Photoshop. And the very next day, my plan was I was gonna go to the Staples, get the banner printed, and then go to the con. And as I was driving from the Staples to the convention, a 15-year-old girl who was on her phone T-boned me and swerved right into my car. And my car spun out of control. And I got out of the car, and the first thought in my head was like, fuck, how am I gonna get to the car now? And I got out, I was like pumped on adrenaline, and I ran to her car, and her door was like jammed in there, and I started like putting my leg, trying to pull it open. And I pulled it open, and I didn't realize how pumped I was from the adrenaline, so I started going like, are you okay? Are you okay? And poor girl, she was terrified. I got her out of the car, and then like the ambulance and the police came, and this is not all that funny to me, but the paramedics came up to me and were like, are you okay? They gave her a little blanket. They just straight up walked past me. I'm like, oh, all right, guys. And then the cops came to take my statement, and I was like, wait, before you guys do anything, just real quick, is it okay if I just take my destroyed car and put it on the side of the road, and then I'll come back for it later? And they're like, you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, I'll come back for it. Hey man, if you want, you can do that, sure. I'm like, all right, cool. So I put my car on the side of the road, or on the parking, and then this lady came up, she's like, I saw what happened, you want me to like duct tape your bumper? I'm like, well, the car's stolen, but sure. So I just duct taped my bumper. I went to the con, I had the banner, finally people came up, I signed all day, and then the adrenaline ran out, and then the con was over, and I walked out, I was like, I should probably go to the hospital. And so it was kind of funny in hindsight, you know? So that was definitely one of the most memorable days for me.
Yeah, I have not been hit by a car. I've had a lot of great moments over the years. I've been doing this for about 3 decades. Yeah, I grew up in the industry.
That's older than my grandparents.
Yeah! I don't know, if you ever watch the bloopers from a show, you can tell how much fun a team is having. And I think the dirtiest bloopers ever are the SAO bloopers. I would literally look up the most terrible things on Urban Dictionary, and that's what came out of Kirito's mouth. And I thought, no one will ever see these bloopers. And we were doing a panel at Anime Expo in one of the large rooms. So when you go in there, there's about 2,500 people. And our producer surprised us. She's like, guess what? We got bloopers to show everybody. And she picked all the dirty ones. All of the worst things that I said. And I was laughing so hard, I was just crying on stage. Like, I could not stop laughing.
I wish they still did that.
I know, I wish they still did.
I know. I wouldn't recommend going to YouTube and searching that. Yeah, don't do that. I wouldn't recommend Googling anything that I say. Look it up. Definitely don't do it. It's, not good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Anson, and my question is, what is your favorite anime besides Demon Slayer?
Good question.
Nice. Now, is this something that we're not part of? Cool.
He said, I don't want to hear any more about you.
But I'm in everything. No, just kidding.
My favorite,
You go first.
this is I have like a top 3 that I really, really love. My favorite of all time, and barely everybody's gonna know this one. It's actually called Ping Pong the Animation.
I'm in that one.
You are?
I think so.
It's got animation that is a little bit different, so a lot of people are going to be put off by how it looks at first, but it's a story about growing up, finding your passions, and also talent versus hard work. And it's like my favorite anime of all time, and it made me sob uncontrollably. So that's my favorite, but I know the answer that a lot more people will know is Mob Psycho 100.
Nice. I'm not in that one. I grew up as a martial artist. I still practice Muay Thai and some Jiu-Jitsu. Very much a white belt in Jiu-Jitsu. So I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. So it's really cool to have now made it to the point in my career where I'm friends with those guys.
You're not in that one?
I'm not in that one.
Out of all the ones to not be in.
You know what? I could scream for a full episode. I would love that. It's really, really challenging. I've auditioned for the show, I just haven't been cast. And that happens more than you think. I would love to be part of the show if there's a character that never shows up that's right for me and they let me audition, out of my control. But it's the really cool thing about being a voice actor. Like, you don't know what you're gonna work on tomorrow. You might be guy A who gets blown up and then you're unemployed. Or you might get cast as the cool character in the next big thing and you're screaming for years and years. Keeps it really exciting. But yeah, I'd love to scream for a bunch of episodes. Be awesome.
I can hear it. I think my favorite anime is a movie, Princess Mononoke. We just went to see it again. I went to see it with Aleks and some friends in 4K on the IMAX screen, and it's so good. It's like, I forget, because I hadn't seen it in a while. and you forget like how violent that movie is.
Oh, no,
like,
absolutely.
Ashitaka's there shooting arrows and taking out people's heads in one hit. Like it's.
I was not expecting that. The way she pitched it to me, I did not see
I forgot to mention that.
decapitation at all.
But it's also got like such a beautiful message, and yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, my name is Winfred. First, I'd like to thank you guys. So, I finally got all four of you guys, including Zach's autograph.
You did it!
Never.
Yeah. So, I left it at home because I didn't want to bring it and something happens to it. But thank you guys for that. Like, it's perfectly at home, sitting there.
Nice.
The Nezuko fan, you know. And, so, my question would be for all you guys, so I can at least imagine Inosuke being at the premiere for the upcoming movies, like just trying to hype everybody up. Like, yeah. Do you guys think that when I don't know I forgot how many movies they're gonna come out with, but do you guys anticipate, 3? Okay, thank you. I forgot. Well, do you guys anticipate that when they come out, that it's like gonna be like they're watching Avengers Endgame or they're at the Super Bowl, like nobody's gonna just sit there and just watch the movie. No, they're gonna be literally screaming at the screen like Inosuke would.
I genuinely don't know because we never got to see Mugen Train in a full theater.
I did. I said that away. It was amazing.
Were people screaming?
People were crying, and then Inosuke would show up, and then the whole theater is laughing, which is so cool. I hope people react to the movie. I don't know what's going to happen. So,
You know, initially when they announced that they were going to be movies, I was a little bit apprehensive because I'm like, oh man, so like no more TV show format. But then I thought about it. I'm like, it was so much fun to watch a movie in theaters with friends. And I was like, you know what? It would be really cool to experience it in movie theater with a bunch of other fans as well. So.
It was so good on the big screen.
Yeah, that too. So I hope so. I hope people will enjoy it and hype it up as much as I do.
I pretty much have the same reaction. Like, I agree with that. Like, hopefully they'll have that same reaction when, like, spoiler, like Captain America, he picked up Thor's hammer and went and ape shit on him.
That was crazy.
You know what I mean? So hopefully, like, I'm not sure what to expect in the movies. I hope something like that happens. Everyone's like, yeah.
well, if anything, I'll be in the theater, and I'll be the only one just like, yeah, get up! It'll be great.
I told you so. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Troy, and I wanted to ask, so Aleks made a few drawing videos of various different Demon Slayer characters. So I was wondering if you guys have seen them, and if you have, who were your favorite drawings?
I don't think I've seen those videos,
Me either.
but I have seen some of Alex's art, and it's really good.
Think so?
It's much better than my art.
Same.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
I'll have to draw you guys some custom drawing for you.
Oh boy.
I would love
I
that.
can't wait for that.
No, they're horrific because I got in trouble with Aniplex when I first posted those videos. But, I'm surprised they let me keep them up. But yeah, it's them in various situations. I think there was one that I drew. I forgot who was in which position, but it was either
I like where this is going.
it was either Inosuke sleeping and then Zenitsu standing over him holding a little Rengoku as a flamethrower, completely dousing Inosuke in flames, or the other way around. Or it was Zenitsu sleeping and Inosuke is holding Rengoku and he's being completely doused in flames.
It could work either way.
Either way,
Yeah.
But
That's fun.
That first Inosuke one was great. I think you'd like it, Bryce.
I'll show it to you after.
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
find it, I'll show it to you after.
Thank you.
I'm gonna now do a reaction video to all of your drawings.
Hello. I was wondering, do you guys have any favorite like anime intros or outros?
From Demon Slayer specifically, or just any
Out
anime?
of all the ones that exist.
Anybody know what I'm singing?
Yes.
Taco.
Two people.
No.
First off, it's gotta be one of the either the Soul Eater opening or one of the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Titan is like I've ever heard in my life.
One of the things I do when I'm cast in a role as like a victory celebration is I listen to the opening intro of the show on repeat like 1,000 times and like hype myself up. So like, yeah, I listen to a lot of awesome intros. The SAO one, Crossing Field, love it. So good. Of course, like Attack on Titan, season 4 also. No? Oh, you haven't?
No, I've only seen season 1. So.
Don't talk to anyone. Nobody tell them anything.
Falling piano.
That could happen.
That could happen.
Anything could happen.
Seriously. No, that's such like a intense show.
No, it gets really lighthearted and fun.
I like the part where they go to school together.
That's Attack on Titan Junior High. It actually does happen. That's fun too.
Great question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alessandro, question is, out of the characters that you voice acted, which was your favorite anime and like that you watched through all the way?
That we watched through all the way.
Out of the characters that we voice, which is the favorite anime that you watched?
I mean, I've watched a lot of my shows. I've been really fortunate to work on things that I would be watching anyways.
That's true, me too. It's harder for me to pick shows, but I'll give you a movie. The movie that I enjoy the most, I've seen it 5 times, is a movie called The First Slam Dunk. And I play Rukawa in that movie, and he has 6 lines. So I'm doing a lot of acting in that movie, but I just loved it so much because it's like one of my favorite authors of all time. And he's a manga artist, but he was like, oh, is somebody can adapt my series? And then when they were adapting, he was like, you know what? Fuck you guys, I'm gonna do it myself. So he directed the movie himself, and I was like, wow, it's gorgeous, it's amazing. So that's my favorite movie that I've seen, that I've made.
I can't pick one. I really like Demon Slayer. I'm loving Dandadan right now. I also love like my love story with Inosuke at level 999.
Oh my god! I wanted to check it out.
It's super cute. It's so cute. I love it. So I can't pick one.
Am I supposed to pick? I can't. How can I choose?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
For you, tell me your best moment in Attack on Titan.
Best moment.
The really fun beach episode. Aaron doesn't ruin it at all.
Splashes in the ocean.
Yeah. That's what he's always wanted. So nice. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't spoil it.
Okay.
I have somehow not been spoiled for that show, so.
Oh,
It usually happens. I'm spoiled for most shows, so I don't know
Attack on
how.
Titan, not the process.
Yeah, I don't know how I've avoided this, but.
It's really difficult to avoid spoilers. I managed to go a decade without knowing what was going to happen in the show. Just because every time someone talked to me, I was just like, don't tell me! Like, that's how I started my conversations for a long time. Yeah, don't get spoiled.
Well, these please.
Thank you.
Thanks. Love the cast today.
My name is Enrique, and I'm currently at university, but I don't find schoolwork very fulfilling, and so I like doing creative things when I have time. But I feel like I succumb to a lot of shiny object syndrome, where I just can't decide what to work on. And so I'm wondering if any of you guys have had to overcome that, and if so, how did you do so?
I never did. I still have.
Yeah, how can you only do one thing? It's okay to do a bunch of stuff.
I was gonna say you're asking the wrong people.
It's shiny.
Yeah, people. I feel like all 3 of us, we barely ever get any rest to just not do anything.
What is that?
But if you're in university, and I'm assuming your parents want you to get your degree, right? So do that first.
Yeah.
Focus on that first, and then they won't be mad at you for 2 decades. So get your degree, and then you can be distracted by the shiny objects.
Yeah.
So do your best.
It's worth it to get your degree, even if it's just a shiny object on the wall. Mine is just a shiny object on the wall. I went to UCLA and studied political science and philosophy. Not using that right now. But actually, it does really help. It does. Learning how to do something challenging is a really good attribute. And I feel like that's what I took out of UCLA, is how to approach really tough things.
The biggest part of life is doing something you don't want to do. So.
But also, like, you can also study stuff that you are interested in. Like, I was a theater major, and I also had taken so many classes in Chinese, Japanese history. I took an anime class that I double majored in East Asian studies. What does that mean? But then I lived in Japan for 6 years.
It says on your diploma.
Professional week. Yeah, I lived in Japan for 6 years, so I got to use my degree, I guess, and now I'm an actor. So you never know what I can talk. That's what I do for a living. You never know what will come in handy and when. Yeah.
Good luck with your study.
Thank you very much.
Wait, hold on, don't do it yet.
Hi, my name is Madeline, and I was wondering, when you cast for different shows, do you prefer doing more like adult ones where you're screaming all the time, like Demon Slayer, or do you like doing more like the kid ones, like Miraculous for Bryce?
I like paying my rent. Any day I step in the booth is a great day. I'm not exaggerating on the level of competition as a voice actor. They're only choosing one person for these roles, and there's thousands that would love to take the part, and any of those people could probably play the role. So how do you, as that one person, stand out amongst the crowd and be that character without ever talking to anybody? Or having anyone tell you, like, oh, just change your voice to here, and then you're the character. Like, you don't get any feedback. You get, like, a description, and I usually get, like, boy, 16. That could be anything! Like, so, it's really tough.
I think if, like, we were Chris Pratt, we'd be able to answer that question. But like Bryce said, it really is challenging. Anytime we're reading for a show or a game, we're competing with anywhere between 200 to even 1,000 people. So it's a lot of actors always competing with each other. So anytime you book a job in general, you're just happy to be there. And personally, yeah, no preference really. Just anytime you get to do fulfilling work that makes you happy, it makes you feel creatively satisfied.
Yeah, that.
All the different types of projects kind of give you something different. Like, I also love wall work, and you guys might not even know what this is. So in TV shows and movies and anime, there's these characters in the background. And sometimes in the footage, they can't capture the audio of those characters. So they bring in a bunch of actors to recreate that audio. So you're like in this room with a bunch of your friends just hanging out. And it's awesome. It's really, really fun. So I love that kind of work too.
Yeah, I did that for Wicked, the movie. They brought me in and they were like, all right, so you're just gonna be one of the guys in the background. When they showed us the movie, it was like unfinished footage. And I'm like, wow, this movie looks terrible. Obviously it was all unfinished CGI. But once I saw it in theaters, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can hear myself being disgusted. That's awesome.
Aleks, you're so popular.
Thanks.
Great question.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello.
Hi.
This is Scooby.
Does Scooby have a question?
Well, he wanted to know if he could be pet for those pets, but.
All right, Scoot.
Can I pet? I wanted to ask if, what kind of characters in the Demon Slayer universe, like, not what kind of characters, but what kind of pets the characters in the Demon Slayer universe you think each one would have? Nezuko would have a cat?
Yes. Definitely, because she sleeps all the time, like a cat, and the claws come out every now and then.
I think for me, I would have a cat, but I do have 2 cats. But I think Zenitsu would probably get like one of those really cute big dogs in hopes that he could like impress a girl with it.
Golden retriever.
But the dog would always run off and drag him along.
Yeah, I don't know for Inosuke.
Mice, he would mount mouse.
Oh, that's the right answer. Muscular mice. I voiced a couple of the mice also. Massa.
What about the Hashira?
Well,
Pick one.
Yeah,
let's do Rengoku, a hamster. He looks like one of them. Like giant beady eyes.
Oh, bug eyes.
Yeah.
We can't do Mitsuri because she loves cats, so like the obvious answer. Let's do what Shinobu. What would she have?
Butterfly.
We can do that. Let's see. Tengen. He's got the muscle mice.
He has muscle mice already.
This is hard.
All right. Well, that answers your
Thank you.
Of course, thank you. And one of them has a snake as well. So.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's true. How have like a you have
sloth?
I don't know if you can have a sloth as a pet.
I mean, he could. Maybe not. What else?
A frog.
That's a
He
good idea.
could missed it. He could.
I'm sorry, what was your question? It's all good.
I went shiny and I went so far off of that.
No, that's all right. Hello, my name is Renee, and my question for you was, how did you start your career, and what tips would you give for people trying to get into voice acting?
I Googled it, man. I'm not even kidding. You would be much better off asking these guys, because they're the real professionals. I went about it in a very non-traditional way. I always like to tell people who come up and ask me, like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, nowadays, if you can learn how to change a tire on the internet, you can learn how to do anything, right? So for me, I just Google, how do you do it? And then there's like a million other resources telling you exactly how you do it, so.
There's not an answer to this question. Everyone got it. Yeah, they have a different way. I mean, I started before Google. I don't think I could have done that. I was born into a family of actors, and my dad was working on Power Rangers when I was a kid. He played Rito Revolto, the skeleton dude on the show, and like a bunch of the monsters. So I used to love to watch him work, and I would like pretend to be sick so I could go with him instead of going to school, because he was really awesome in the booth. And one of the times I went, at the end of his session, they needed a kid's voice, and my dad's like, "He's a kid, throw the booth!" And that's how I started. Right place, right time. Oh, thanks! I just laughed at that. That's my best impression of him.
You could do a Yosemite Sam though. I hear it in there.
Okay, I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
I was a theater major, as I already mentioned. I moved to Japan for a while. I was initially teaching on the JET program, and then I moved to Tokyo to get back to acting. I did a little bit of voiceover there when I was, working as an actor, doing some promo stuff, narration for textbooks, and I got to do a little bit of character voices for these characters that were in some children's shows that I was performing around Japan. And I really loved it, and I wanted to do more voiceover, but guess what, everyone? There's not a ton of English voiceover in Japan. That's the stuff that I wanted to do, like anime dubbing, and original prelay animation, cartoons, or video games. I wanted to know all that stuff. So I moved back to the States. I looked on the internet. I was like, how to voiceover? And then a contest popped up on YouTube that was hosted by Bang Zoom, the studio that dubs Demon Slayer and a bunch of other stuff. And I entered this contest. It was called Perfect Idol. My audition is still on YouTube. You can watch it. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just did a bunch of impressions. And then there was a talent portion, so I just sang some songs and played some instruments. And I was so terrified entering this contest because YouTube is brutal. And I was like, I'm gonna be eviscerated by humanity and embarrassed. And I also had no idea if like what I was doing was even remotely like what I should be doing. So entered the contest. In the meantime, I moved to New York City, started taking voiceover classes for commercial voiceover, because that's one piece of advice I would give people is that if you're trying to get an agent, they really still look at commercial reels to get an agent. So it's something you shouldn't just blow off. You should try to get into the commercial aspect of things too. And commercials are very funny, so do that. I advanced to the second and third round of this contest. They flew me out to LA for the finale. I ended up winning the contest, and I dubbed my first anime that was called Miss Monochrome. Anyone ever heard of it? Ah, we got one! It's like not very well known, but Yuri Yuri Corrier, the singer, voices Miss Monochrome in Japanese. It's really cute. She's an android and she has a pet Roomba, and they're like 5-minute episodes. It's adorable.
Pet Roomba.
That's right, named Lvlup.
Do you remember the judges?
The judges were Mami Okada,
Okay.
casting director for Bang Zoom, Patrick Seitz.
Awesome. He's here this weekend.
He is here. Go see him. It's great. And Heath Silverstein.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
Yeah, they are legendary, and they were so nice. They were so sweet. Like the second round was a directed callback. So I performed like a monologue, and Patrick Seitz would give me direction and see how I handled that. Yeah, it was such an experience. I didn't know. Again, I did not know what was happening. But that's how I really kicked things off. And as far as advice goes, I would say find out what you're good at. If you have any special skills, do you sing? Can you do impressions? Can you do accents? Can you do creature noises? What weird noises can you do? Because those are all things that are specialty and marketable. And every once in a while, casting is looking for something weird, and maybe you're the guy who can do it. So
Maybe you're that weirdo, man.
maybe you're that weirdo. Never know.
Thank you. Seems like my answer was Google, and I will be relaying that to my brother. Thank you.
I'm gonna jump in for just a sec. We have about 5.
It doesn't have to be Demon Slayer, but what was your favorite antagonist?
Antagonist?
Turbo Granny.
Right, we'll settle on that one.
Yeah.
This is, hi, my name is Erin. This is Bryce Papenbrook. I wanted to know.
Hi, Erin.
Hi. I wanted to know if you ever got psyched out hearing your own voice while rewatching anime.
No, it's actually really cool to watch things back because when you're in the moment, you're only hearing kind of your performance, and sometimes you do multiple takes, not knowing which one they're going to actually choose. And sometimes you're the first one in the booth, and you're just acting to nobody. So when you watch a show back, it's like you're seeing it for the very first time. So I love it. It freaks my dog out. She's like, why are you screaming all the time and not moving your face? But yeah, I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey guys, my name is Ashley. This question is for Alex. So, in my perspective, the characters into Demon Slayer as opposed to just movie solo leveling are two complete opposite sides of the spectrum. Was there anything that you found in common between channeling both those characters?
I think the thing that's in common is that even though they're very different from each other, they all started from the same place, which is a very high-pitched voice. When I started Demon Slayer 5 years ago, that's actually how my voice sounded. I was very, I don't know, I was already
You went
19
through
or 20.
puberty after that.
Yeah, I went.
I'm still waiting for that to happen.
I tell people I went through my second puberty. So they both, when I was recording solo leveling, I was actually, before we started the show, when he's in his E-Right form, I went through my old work to hear how I sounded back then. So I could pitch my voice up and sound natural and authentic to how I was when I was younger. So I think the thing that's in common is that they both have a very unique state to them, but then they also can be very cool sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Naomi, any three of you can answer this. Other than your own character, who is your favorite character with the Demon Slayer?
Tengen Uzui.
Inosuke.
Yes! I like so many characters. The Crow! delicious Crow.
Just spamming that answer.
That's the first shrimp that ended up in your mask.
Oh, yeah. I hope he eats that tempura. That delicious tempura. Thanks.
Last question, close it out with a bang.
The answer is the Crow. The delicious Crow.
Hi, my name is Dennis. Bryce, is there a novel that you've read that you said, wow, that'd be really cool to develop, and developing a voiceover that you'd love to do in that, I don't know, the Sanderson Mistborn series or anything like that?
I don't know. I need recommendations of some new books. I'm reading a lot of kids' books these days. I have 3.
Unsold.
Which one?
Will White, Unsold.
Will White Unsold.
everybody. And it's done. The series is done.
That's a good series.
You don't have to wait.
Good to know. All right. What about you guys? Been reading any good books?
Dude, I haven't read since high school, man. I genuinely have not picked up a novel since high school. I'm not the person to ask.
I read a lot.
I read scripts.
I just finished a book actually called Feral Creatures. This is such a great way to end this. Guess what the main protagonist is? A demon.
Delicious crow.
And his name is Shit Turd.
That sounds so appetizing.
I think Inosuke should be in that adaptation.
That sounds great. He's there at the ending. The ending is shit turd meeting his doom.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Going back to our tables for a little bit, so please come by, ask questions if you think of more, and have a great time, guys.